Welcome back to OtakuDaiKun. It has been a long time since I did an FGO Waifu tier list, and now that there are so many characters on the docket now, I've got to go through again. Because there's so many, we're just gonna dive right on in. We've got your basic S through D. This is all personally subjective. It has nothing to do with the game's meta. It's about character design. My opinions may have changed since the last time I did this, but that's okay. So yeah, let's get started. Mashu's adorable. We love her. Her best design, in my opinion, is the very first Ascension, which we're gonna have right here. Yeah, I think she's awesome with a shield. Let's go ahead and put her S. Ortnax, I don't like as much. Her new armor is pretty cool, but not as good as that first Ascension, so I'm gonna go ahead and give that an A tier. Artoria is my favorite character in almost all of fiction. Immediate S. No particular order here. Actually, you know what? Maybe there will be. At least for the S tier, I'll put them in a specific order. Saber Alter, this particular version, I mean, it's still her, but yeah, we'll go ahead and A tier that. Lily is adorbs. I don't like her as much. A tier for her. We love our She might just be dominating the A tier for me. Nope, there we go. Altera kicks ass. I think she's also A tier. Starting off good. Daeon is unconfirmed gender, so cool character. I like the whole knight aspect of it, but not particularly interested. I'll give you C. D will be towards characters I more actively dislike. Atalante is pretty cool. She's gonna have to be B tier though. Let's go ahead and put Steno and Uriel together so we can do them as a team. I like them better than Daeon, but I don't love them a shit ton. They don't have a huge involvement in the story either. Elizabeth Bathory, I am not really a fan of. Not this particular version of her either. She's kind of annoying. Medusa, I like her a lot. She's charming in Fate Stay Night. Even better in the UFO table stuff. I'm gonna have to go with B though. Boudica's not bad. Go ahead and give her B as well. Ushi Wakamoto, however, must be an S tier right behind Artoria. Absolutely. I don't feel too strongly either way about Marie Antoinette. Let's go ahead and drop her into C. She can hang out with her knight Daeon. Saint Martha, we like her quite a bit. Middle of the A tier, I think, somewhere along there, maybe. Actually, we'll just put her in A. She's pretty good in A. Medea, I'm not a huge fan of. She's not bad, but she's gonna have to go at the bottom of C. Jin Kei, not a huge fan of her either. She's not bad, so C. Matahari, absolutely S rank. I love her design, I love the dancing. I wish she were a stronger character. This particular version of Carmilla is not doing herself any favors with the big ugly ass mask. So I'm gonna go ahead and give her D. She can hang out with Elizabeth, her younger counterpart in Legend. Kiyohime, she cute but dangerous. Nothing against her, she's gonna be C. Tamamo Cat, probably the same. Not a huge fan of the cat version particularly. Jeanne is phenomenal. She gets to go in upper B tier to me. For me, that's a good thing, believe it or not. Artemis is pretty nice. She can be in B tier, second to Boudica. Halloween Elizabeth, no different than regular Elizabeth to me. Tamamo is a total sweetheart. She could go in B tier. Miko, Francis Drake, not one of my favorite characters, but compared to these guys, let's see here. I'll put her around with Medea, I feel like. Anne and Mary, they're nice and all, but they don't stand out a lot to me. Maybe put you in the C tier, probably upper C tier. Medea Lily is a bit cuter than her other self. We're gonna go ahead and put her in the upper C tier above her former self. She's just cuter. She shows more of herself there. Okita, we love Okita. Okita better than Altera though? No. But better than Ortnax. Nobu, I am honestly not a fan of it all. Probably gonna put her right at the bottom of D tier, I'm sorry. Skahawk, instant S. Hello. Shisho for the win. Santa Alter. I feel about as strongly as regular Alter, maybe a little better because she doesn't look as mean. Nursery Rhyme, she's a loli. Not a huge fan of it otherwise. She's not bad, but D. In fact, let's go ahead and create a row below. I'll just put it like despise. I don't know if there's any that I'm gonna have for that, but we'll create that category. Jack the Loli, I do like her design, I really do. I think she's totally cute, pretty awesome. Put her in B. Mordred, not her best. Well, some people think the armor's kick-ass. I like her without it personally, but she gets to go right up there next to her daddy. Fran, I do like Fran as a character. Very tragic, very cute story, or cute how she's kind of redeemed with Mordred in that relationship. Go ahead and put her in A. Mysterious Heroine X, the first one is, she's aight. Maybe upper C tier. Shiki, you got two different versions of Shiki. Assassin Shiki up here, they're the same basically to me. They can both hang out here. Nero Bride is about the same to me as regular Uma. Can chill together. Brynhildr is nice, she's cute. Maybe ahead of Jack the Loli can be hanging out with Tamamo. Florence Nightingale isn't too strong for me. She can go right here. I like Maeve, she's a total slut. I like that about her. She's better than Orton X, I think. Wha-ching! Elena Blavatsky doesn't leave a huge impression on me. I think she's about the same as Nightingale. Jalter, however, I like better than regular Jean. I'm gonna put her definitely in the A tier, ahead of Fran. Hassan of 100 Faces has a nice female form, some pretty good abs. Not the most amazing design for me overall, though. She can hang out with Francis Drake. I think they're about the same in my personal appeal. Iris Veal, she's very pretty. Gonna put her up here in the B tier. Shuten Doji, she's kind of growing on me. I definitely like her alluring, sultry voice. I like her more than some of the others in the B tier, though. Not necessarily. But I'll put her at the end of the B tier. Big Titty Monk, Sanzang. I like her quite a lot. She's gonna hang out here ahead of Fran. Raiko? She's not amazing for me. Her personality's kind of crazy too. I'm gonna put her in C. Banana Oni, Ibaraki. Let's see here. I'm not a huge fan of her personally. Gonna have to go with C again. Lancer Artoria. You know, I've complained about her a lot, but I don't hate her entirely. She's just not my favorite version of Artoria, that interpretation. I like my more petite variant. But she's gonna go ahead and hang out with Mysterious Heroine X and Z tier. Nito Kreese, however, absolute S. You can hang out right behind Ushi Wakamoto. I don't know if I can decide between them. Son of Serenity is very nice. She's gonna go up here in the A tier with Fran. Da Vinci. I like Da Vinci quite a lot in her Babylonia anime. This particular artist I'm not as big of a fan of, but assuming it's the character, we like her. We'll put her in the C tier behind Lancer Artoria. Tamamo Swimsuit is enough to bump her up to the A tier for sure. Let's go ahead and Fa-ching! Squirtoria, instant S, you can hang out here. Mordred, I'm just gonna pluck you out and put you right there alongside your daddy. Summer Marie Antoinette is better than regular Marie Antoinette. I had her hanging out in the C tier, but let's go ahead and bump this version up a bit. Same goes for Summer and Mary. Skahak, Assassin, about the same to me as regular Skahak, so up you go. I can't decide if I like one more than the other. Usually, like, her bodysuit is phenomenal. Summer Kiyohime should definitely get a bump up compared to her previous. She's hanging out in the C tier. Summer Martha. Ooh, phenomenal. She's hanging out in the A tier, but Summer Martha, she's gonna be hanging out here with Okita and whatnot in the A tier. Prisma Ilia, we do like her. She's very cute. Be at the bottom of B tier. I think Kuro is a little bit more sultry than Ilia as far as lolis are concerned. Now, of all the different Elizabeth Bathories, I am a sucker for bikini armor. Probably put her in the upper B tier. Now, Ishtar, another S. Absolutely phenomenal. Mwah! Enkidu, you're genderless, so I guess I can put you... I got nothing against you, just not attracted either way either. Little Loli Jean Alter, kind of a complicated servant to me. I don't hate her. She can hang out with Blavatsky. Quetzalcoatl I did not like in-game, but my god, is she amazing in the Babylonia anime, so that's gonna put her up probably in the upper A tier, if not S tier. Ooh, I don't know. For now, we'll keep her in maybe second to Umu. She can hang out with Altera. Cleopatra, I'm not a huge fan of the Danganronpa art style. It's personal, I know people love those games. I think she just goes right above Raiko. Anna is a sweetheart. I'm gonna put her around where Medea Lily is. Gorgon? I'm not as big into giant snake girls. I know a lot of people like her. Can keep her maybe around Nobunaga in the D tier. Taiga, this version of Taiga is goofy as hell. If I interpret her final ascension where she's got the sexy suit, that gives her a little more credence. That point she can hang out maybe with like Francis Drake, maybe just a little ahead. Tiamat. So we're gonna get the larva version, and to me they're pretty much the same in terms of appeal. Maybe ahead of Steno and Uriel. Musashi, oh yeah. Up, up, up we go. S, baby. Mysterious Heroine X Alter, to me is kind of like a more boring version, so not a huge fan. Maybe around Medea. Now, do I like Do the Cha-Cha? Only slightly. I think I like you a little bit more than Nobu! Maybe a little more than Gorgon, and Carmilla, so yeah, you can hang out by Bathory. Meltralis I like quite a bit. We're gonna probably put her in the B tier, along with Shutendoji. Passion Lip, less so. I think she's a sweetheart, but her proportions are comically ridiculous. Probably around the same as Raiko, but I like her personality better. Suzuka Gozen, I like you quite a lot. You're definitely gonna go in at least the A tier. Do I like you more than Okita? I just might, actually. Just slightly. BB! I think she can go in the CCC tier. Kiara in her nun form isn't as alluring as her later forms. Probably around Tiamat. Her beast form is a step up, that's for sure. I'm gonna go ahead and say that beats Tiamat. Ooh. Scheherazade. She's alright. Total scaredy cat. Fergus wants to smash. I will put her probably around Raiko. Wu Zetian in child form isn't very appealing to me. She can hang around the banana. Penthesilea, however. Up we go. Up we go. And definitely an S tier. Fa-ching! Love my Amazoness. Now, I'm not a fan at all of Paul Bunyan's designs in any capacity. Chunk. Summer Umu is nice. You can hang around regular Umu. I'm gonna put you right behind, because I actually think Umu's butt triangle is nicer than the swimsuit. Summer Fran should go with Fran. I think that's fair. Summer Nito Kreese is pretty good, not as good as regular Nito Kreese, because she spends way too much time hiding behind that stupid Medjed cloak. So she gets bumped from S to somewhere in the A tier at that point. Right around here. Summer Nobu is better than regular Nobu, but not by too much. Saber alter, maid alter, hell yeah, S tier baby. Not better than Mordred though. Summer Blavatsky, definitely an upgrade. I'm not worried too much about how I'm ranking the C waifu against each other. Put you above Mysterious Heroine X alter. Summer Raiko is a step up, though she is kinda crazy. One of those sensorial Puritans who, thankfully, is quite raunchy herself and doesn't even realize it. Gonna go up ahead of here, put her up here in C. Most of them are probably gonna land in C. Now, I'm a big disappointment for Ishtar Summer, which is way more covered up than regular, so definitely a tier down from that. Somewhere in the C's, honestly, maybe a little bit more than Da Vinci. Parvati I do love. Up she goes in the ranks. Somewhere in A tier for sure. I like Parvati more than Maeve, maybe just a little less. Tomoe Gozen is pretty cool. I do like her. She's gonna be somewhere in the upper C. Definitely above Kiyohime to me. Mochizuki is also very nice. I think I might put her at like the top of the C tier. Kato Danzo, however, gets to jump up quite a bit to A, somewhere in the A's for sure. Cha-ching! Osaka Behime, she's funny. I'm not into her aesthetic though. She can hang out with Mysterious Heroine X alter. Cannot stand Mecha Ellie. They're the first to go in the despise category. Cersei I like quite a bit. Probably gonna hang around in the upper B's. As for Netza, probably enough to be upper C. Yeah, I would say just ahead of Mysterious Heroine X. The Queen of Sheba is nice. I like her more than Scheherazade, but that's not saying too much. She'd be somewhere in the C tier for sure, above the busty beauties. Let's go ahead and put her alongside Summer Raiko. Abigail Williams, she's a cutie. Not into her, she can hang out with Ibaraki. Aresh Kigal is a lesser Ishtar to me, but she can hang out maybe above Ilya and Kuro in the B tier. Santa Altera is really goofy, but not too much different than regular Altera to me, so I guess she can go into the A's. Maybe in like a second row of the A tier. Hokusai or Oe, I like her. She's pretty fun. Definitely not gonna breach out of the C tier though. Maybe around Da Vinci. Semiramis, I like her third ascension. Her character arc is fairly touching in Apocrypha. She can hang around to Kiara. Asagami Fujino deserves all the love in the world. She can cuddle up to Ilya in the B tier. Anastasia, she complains about goddamn hot, and she's not as hot as I would like her to be, perhaps. She's gonna be somewhere in the C's. Maybe around with Osaka Behime. Atalante Alter, definitely going to go even higher than her previous form, so she's gonna breach into the A tier along with these beauties. Yeah, it's not a bad spot. Okita Alter is pretty cool. I don't think I like her more than base Okita, but I don't think I like her any less either, so they can hang out together. So we've got Ryoma here, but it's mainly for Oryo, who is unfortunately cropped out of the thumbnail. But Oryo is pretty fun, definitely deserves to be here, but perhaps in the C tier. I'll put it with the cat. Fa-ching! Now, all the Valkyries are more or less in the same boat. I like the classic ones most. Let's go ahead and put Blondie up in the, probably the upper B tier, honestly. You can be just after Cersei. And then your sisters can be at sort of the bottom of that same tier. Still high up, just not as high as your sister, my favorite of them. Skadi is, to me, less sexy than Skahawk, but it's supposed to be the same body, so I can't complain too much. It's how they carry themselves. So maybe around the same thing as... Actually, no, you can hang out with your Valkyries. Summer Jean, can't complain. Just a little step up from base Jean. Summer Ushi Wakamoto is surprisingly not as good as base, but she is still based, so she can go somewhere in the A tier. Banana Oni Summer can go just a little bit ahead of her base form, but not too much. Summer Jalter, however, it's a matter of S or A. Ooh, I don't know. That's a tricky one. I think I'm gonna put her ahead of Okita. Holy crap. Summer BB definitely gets an upgrade. Probably right ahead of Maeve. Then Summer Maeve can hang around regular Maeve. Not too picky either way. Citonai, I think, is less adorbs, in my opinion, than Prisma Ilia. So I think that kind of dictates my answer there. We can hang around Heroine X Alter. Jin Liangyu, I think I would like more with a different art style. Not too bad, not too amazing either, though. Yeah, right by Citonai. Mysterious Heroine X. X, however, is the best of all of those, in my opinion. She's gonna go into A tier, probably right ahead of BB. Summer Shuten, better than base Shuten, in my opinion. There you are, hiding up in the B tier. Ching. You know, I think I might like Meltrellis more. And more than you. Yume Ren, all the way up in S. Holy shit. Gosh, maybe just a little ahead of Matahari. Hell yeah. Bradamante, gosh, she sucks in the meta, but she is gorgeous. Otherwise, I think she's an S tier. Yeah, you can hang around Penthesilea. Samba Quetzalcoatl, I don't like as much as base Quetzalcoatl. You're gonna have to be in the bottom of the B tier. Miyu, I'm about as indifferent about as the other Prisma Ilia gals. Which makes me think I definitely like Fujino better than all three of them, honestly. Murasaki Shikibu, not a huge fan. She's definitely going to be in C somewhere. Maybe around the same as Nightingale. Actually, I think I like Nightingale's attitude more. King Protea is a total sweetie pie kaiju. You're going to go definitely somewhere in the C tier. I think I like base BB more than you. Yeah, you can hang out with Ana. Now, Kama, this is a bit of a misleading one because they're showing her loli form, but her adult form is absolutely an S tier. And I guess by default that means her beast form also goes there. Ba-ching. Now, I like Gray. Gray is wonderful. It's a shame she's ashamed of her face. I kind of want to know what she looked like before that whole spiel, though. She's definitely going to go in the B tier. Around Jacques Deloli-ish. Rhiness, not as much. I think she could be at the bottom of the Bs. But if that's the case, then Mochizuki is getting an upgrade over even Samba. There we go. Quite a bit. Astrea, I would give really high because Luvia kicks ass, but I don't like this art style. And until we see more of her in a different one, I'm kind of stuck in this sense. Maybe around Lancer Artoria. Lakshmi Bai is really pretty, but also kind of forgettable. They haven't done much with her since. Right about here. Not bad. Demon King Nobu is definitely an upgrade. Enough to put you maybe ahead of BB. I'm actually going to bring Cleopatra down a couple of notches. Nagao Kagetora is absolutely batshit insane, but she's also cute, so take that for what it is. Probably around with Netza. Loli Da Vinci over time has gave me more charm, mainly because they do more with her, development-wise. Probably enough to be just a little higher than Mysterious Heroine X. Gareth, total sweetie. Probably around Atalante. Salome, up we go. Pa-ching! Super S. Charlotte Corday, fascinating character. I like her summer form more. Fairly indifferent, honestly. Maybe a little higher than Sitonai. Summer Musashi, woo! Gosh, right alongside base Musashi for sure. Summer Osaka Behime is definitely an improvement over the previous one. Just gonna be somewhere into the B tier. Maybe just after Gray. Nope, after Gray. Summer Carmilla, I used my recent 4-star selection for her because, man, she's got some great ascensions. That's one way to put it. She's got some great ascensions. I think that's a good place. Maybe right there. Summer Hokusai, with her accent and the samurai swords. Benny Enma, don't have a huge attraction to this character. Yeah, bottom of the seas. Now, Casino Lancer Artoria is indeed better than previous form. Maybe enough to bump you up a little bit higher in the C tier. Meltralis is more of the same, kind of. I'm not sure if I like the summer version any more than the base. Summer Okita, however, gets to go into the S's. I love that outfit. As does Space Ishtar. Hell yeah. I'm gonna put her right ahead of base Ishtar even. Calamity Jane, also an S for me. Santa Nightingale, maybe a little bit cuter than base Nightingale in terms of the art. Where the hell did I put you? There you are, you can go ahead of that. Another woefully underdeveloped servant is Europa. She seems nice, but not supremely thrilling. Can go around in the C tier. Honestly, now that I see a bunch more of these waifu, I'm going to put Daeon a little bit lower. Quite a bit lower, in fact. Just towards the bottom. Maybe a step up from some of these lollies. Young Guifei's okay. I don't feel too strongly about her. Probably about as much as Charlotte Corday, maybe a little better. Say Shonagon's summer form is really nice. Her base form is, it's not bad either. Maybe right ahead of Lancer Artoria. Dioscuri twins, of course we're going for the waifu amongst them. She's going to go fairly high up. I like her, even though her attitude is pretty shit. Definitely more than Samba. Right about here in the B tier. Canis, up and up we go. Man, okay, so do I like Canis more than Bradamante? I like Canis more than Penthesilea. Yes, I do, actually. Dino Waifu, not bad, not special either. Ahead of Danganronpa. Aris Utsumi, I do like her quite a bit. She's definitely going to go probably in B. Probably, yeah, right here, right after Atalante. Castor Artoria, she's a sweetheart. She's not as good, in my opinion, as the King of Knights that I know. So she's going to be somewhere in the A's, ahead of Maeve. Summer Kiara, very nice. I like her quite a bit. She's definitely going to go somewhere in the A's. Maybe right after Parvati. Summer Ilya, definitely a step up from base Ilya, but that's only saying so much to me. But it's still not better than Kuro. Summer Brynhilder, very nice. Yeah, definitely better than that. Dare I say better than Mikon? And Artemis? Yeah, even Boudica, yeah. Yume Ren, get up there. Go right behind your other self. I love both pretty much equally. Summer Abby's a bit of an upgrade from regular Abby. Pretty much it. Summer Tomoe, definitely better than a regular Tomoe. So by default, you go up there. Yeah. Summer Shikibu, also an upgrade, but not enough to breach C tier for sure. Yeah, right around there. Himiko's alright. Still gonna be in the C tier though. Do I like Himiko more than Francis Drake? Yeah. I think that's fair. I'm not a big fan of Clytie Van Gogh. Probably the very bottom of the C tier. Ibuki can go... I mean, it's definitely going to be the C tier, but how low do we go? I think I like her more than Corday. Vritra, also fairly forgettable because they haven't done much with her outside of that one event, but I do like her. Probably more than Rhinus, probably more than Samba, probably more than Skadi, but maybe not more than Lakshmi Bai. Taira no Kagekiyo is still technically Uchi Wakamaru, but with a worse aesthetic in my opinion, so maybe behind her swimsuit variant. Bam, bottom of the A's. Her teacher, Kichi Hogan, definitely goes a bit higher. Right here, not bad. Karen Hortensia, she's pretty nice. Definitely more than Rhinus, probably more than Samba, maybe a little more than Skadi. Galatea? Doesn't leave a huge impression on me. Maybe just a little more than Corday. I tend to use Corday as a measuring stone. Miss Crane, she's charming, but I don't think I like her more than Oreo. I like Tamamo Cat more. Even them... maybe just slightly better than Murasaki. Mysterious Heroine Idol X here. One step ahead of base Mysterious Heroine X. Morgan. Woo! Joining the family up top. Yeah, right there. Middle of the S tier, baby. A lot of people really like Barghest. To not piss so many people off. Do I like Barghest more than some of these? Yeah. Yeah, I think she's B tier to me. Bavanshi can go a little bit higher than that for sure. Maybe right after Tamamo. Melusine, she's pretty cool. I don't know if I like her more than Barghest though. Shoot, I think they're kind of tied, honestly, in the B tier. Koyanskaya. Honestly, all the versions of Koyanskaya to me are kind of the same, so they're gonna wind up together. But I do like Koyanskaya. Maybe even more than base Tamamo. Oof. Habitrot? I guess. Who knows? We don't know what Habitrot looks like under that big old coat. Summer Okita Alter. You can go up, up, and up. I like you more than regular Okita Alter, so where did I put that? Okay, right here. Yeah, not bad. Summer Anastasia, definitely more hot than her previous version. You definitely qualify for B. Maybe just a little ahead of Skadi. There you go. Charlotte Corday, pretty much feel the exact same. Summer Davinci, very cute. Put her maybe ahead of Lakshmi Bai. Summer Kama, pretty much the same as regular Kama, which is somewhere in this S tier, right? Yep. Yeah, I'm fairly indifferent. Summer Canis, I think, might even be a little bit better than base Canis, dare I say, but close competition either way. Summer Shonagon is phenomenal. Yeah, probably right about here. Nice. Jacques Demolay, I don't really care too much, honestly, about you at all. Maybe just a slight more than Danganronpa. Zenobia, however, straight to the top. Question is where? I like her probably right after Canis. which means, yeah, even more than Penthesilea. Gosh. This particular Bathory is better than other Bathories, I do think. Not as good as her bikini armor. There we go. I think that's fair. Izumo no Okuni, I don't have a strong opinion about. She's very forgettable to me. I kind of, like, don't know her lore right off the top of my head anymore. She's definitely going to be in the seas somewhere. I think I like her more than Osaka Behime, but not by too much. Mysterious Ranmaru X is another annoying Gouda Gouda servant I don't care too much about. I think she's a bit cuter than Nobu Base, so I'll go ahead and drop her in the D's. Maybe that's a bit harsh. Maybe they're at bottom of the C's. Perhaps I was unfair to you. You can go right about here with Daeon. Santa Martha is my least favorite Martha. Definitely going to be a downgrade. Yeah, I just don't care as much about it. Maybe ahead of Jinkei, I'm fairly indifferent. Dobrynya Nikitic, I do like you quite a bit. Definitely going to be somewhere in the B's. Maybe not as good as... Actually, I think I do like you more than some of these. Yeah. Somewhat in the upper B tier for sure. Now, Koyan Sky's beast form is a little freaky. Too many teats, if you ask me. It's not a human amount of them. Maybe a step down from Gorgon. However, as a regular Tamamo clone of sorts, I like you quite a bit. Straight to the B's. Hephaestion, definitely good. At least B. Let's see here. Yeah, I think that's a good spot. Now, Bazette. Probably in the upper A's. Maybe even better than Okita. Alright, there you go. Mananan McClear, Bazette, hell yeah. The Poke Girls, the Trung Sisters. Yeah, they're not bad. Lower B tier, but not bad. Maybe Summer Paul is a little better. I don't know. And you can be with your friend, because honestly, I just don't like the art style. I'm sorry. It's meant for parodying. Creamhild, though. Woohoo! I like Creamhild more, at least, than Brynhildr. So where is she hanging out? Okay. Yeah, I think that's fair. Definitely better than Brynhildr, in my opinion. She almost looks like Mordred Alter. Don Quixote, of course, we're talking about the donkey in this case. He's got a fine ass that he rides. I think right about here. Maybe just a little better than Jinkei. The dog author. Woof woof. I'm not so sure I care too much about you. You're gonna be in the C's. Do I like you more than Tamamo Cat? I guess so? Yeah. I think that's good. Akuedo. Hell yeah. Alright, well she's gonna be pretty high up. Do I like Arcuade more than Jeanne, though? Answer is no, but I do like her more than Boudica. Lady Shufu has good taste, but she herself is not as cool. Maybe a step under this Demon Noble. Lady Avalon, Femme Merlin, very much going to go pretty damn high. I don't know. I think you're a little better than Castoria in this form. Summer Gareth, very good. What did I put regular Gareth? You beat regular Gareth by just a smidge. Summer Ibuki. Summer Skadi. Okay, we're going pretty high up now. Definitely A's for you. I think that's appropriate. Now, Adult Wu can go quite a bit higher than her other form. Is it enough to destroy all of the C tier, though? I don't think so. I don't think so. I think you go right here at the top. Now, all of these summer versions of the Valkyries are not as good, in my opinion. They're gonna hang out right along with Skadi. All of them, I'm fairly indifferent. I don't like their swimsuits as much as their base outfits as Valkyrie. Sendo Rikyu, really don't know enough about. really couldn't care less. You're probably gonna go pretty low, to be fair. Maybe a little better than Klaiti Van Gogh. I think I like Benyenma a bit more personality-wise. I think I like Io's aesthetic just as much, if not more, than Himiko's. So where did I put Himiko? Gosh, I don't know which one I like more. Let's go ahead and put you just a smidge better. Huyan Zhuo? I don't know, you're not too bad. Maybe a little bit better than Summer Kiyohime, but definitely not as good as Tomoe. Dragon Loli, Bathory is at least cute. I'll put you in between the other two Bathories. This one's misleading because Brito Mart is actually phenomenally hot. You just can't really see it with this. So maybe a step ahead of Boudica. Okita Alter is also pretty phenomenal, but not as good. So maybe an A tier. Still better than your swimsuit form, I think. Wacha. Tenochtitlan. That is one sexy city. I think that's appropriate. Now, instant S is Kukulkan. Hells to the yeah. Ooh, but where? Salome? I think she's better than Salome. Kama? That's a tough call. Better than Zenobia? Yeah. Definitely not better than Canis. I couldn't justify that. I just couldn't. But here, not bad at all. Don't care about the mice. Hang out with your Bunyan crew. Larval Tiamat. Kind of the same as regular Tiamat. Where did I put her? Maybe a little after regular Kiara. That works. Now, technically, these Dracos are the same person. I don't like them as much as base Nero. Probably not even as much as the Valkyries, so lower B tier for me. For both of them. I'm actually more a fan of Locusta when she finally gets out of this stupid outfit and into the nice scantily clad. So she can go up, up, and up. About here. Yeah, mid B. Not bad. Now, she got mixed up in the mix, but Summer Eris is pretty damn nice as well. I don't know if I like her more than regular Eris Utsumi. They're pretty close. Aha, right there. Maybe just a tiny little bit better. Okay, Kashin Koji. Very pretty design. Probably a bit better than Shufu, but probably no higher at this moment. Popus Johanna. I do like her hair quite a bit. Is she good enough to be in low B? I think she is. I do think so. Now Durga, I don't care which version we're talking about here, they're both pretty phenomenal. Probably bottom S tier. Just chuck them both up there real quick. Now Medusa Lily here is not quite what I was hoping for. We should have gotten, you know, a nice summer swimsuit version of her, but instead we got this. I think you'll have to be towards the top of C, honestly. Summer Morgan, not quite as good as base Morgan, however, I think it still qualifies you for S tier. Maybe a step down for Mashu, there we go. By far one of my favorite servants in the whole game, Castoria Zerker. Pretty damn high up, honestly. Yeah, I think that's fair. Actually, maybe even a little. You beat Maid Alter. Oh boy. Summer Suzuka blows my mind. Definitely S tier. I think that's a fair place for sure. Naknareya beats out base Maeve. So where did I put base Maeve? Alrighty. Summer Kuro. Kind of alongside regular Kuro, to be fair. I think I like Summer Ilium more, so right in that group. Summer Melusine, better than base Melusine. Let me go find where I put her. Summer Barguest, probably better than base Barguest. That'll do. Mikoser right here is not as good, in my opinion, as base Bavanshi. So put her one step below. Wangina, not bad. I'm thinking maybe towards the top of the C tier, very top C tier. I think she's very cute. Sugitani's been a long time coming. She's pretty cool. I would also probably put her maybe just a tiny bit ahead of Kagetora. Saika Magoichi. I can't say I know a whole lot about her. We're going into uncharted territory with some of these babes. So my opinion of her may very well change right now. She's just kind of probably better than Dog Girl, but that's as high as I can put her right now until I learn more. Uesugi Kenshin is kind of just another Kagetora face. I'm probably just going to put them together, maybe a little higher up. Now, what was this? Friggin' Raiko Alter or Lily or whatnot? I don't know. She seems a little bit edgier. I don't know. I don't know if I like her more or less than base Raiko, so she can chill probably right behind. I think that's okay. Yui Shosets is gorgeous, so we're going up, up, and up pretty damn high with her. Yeah, I think that's good. Definitely somewhere in the A's. Andromeda, I don't know a ton about, but I do know she is drawn by one of my favorite artists. I believe their name is Lack, L-A-C-K. So she's going at least in A. High up in the A's. Maybe ahead of Shosets for now, and I suspect I might even start bumping her up even more over time. Just haven't experienced her in-game yet since these guys haven't come out in NA. Marie Antoinette Alter has got to be just one step below Summer Marie, so let me find where I put her. I think that's fair. Aoko Aozaki. Oh, I wanted to give you somewhere super high. I think the best I'm going to be able to do is give you something in B tier, and it's only because I don't like the outfit change they gave you. So maybe a little ahead of Boudica. Alice Kuonji, nice, but you're no Aoko. Honestly, I gotta put her somewhere in the C's. Maybe a little bit better than the Heroine X's. That's still pretty good, though. Hibiki and Shikagi, I don't know jack shit about them, but they are super adorable. I do like the art quite a bit. So maybe alongside Kashin Koji. Again, that could change once I learn more about them. Space Aresh Kigal seems better than base Aresh Kigal. So let me go ahead and just correct that as such. Now CL, you're going right up to S, baby. Hell yeah, maybe even better than Suzuka. Dare I say better than some of these, even Okita? Yeah, I think that's fair. Dude, she's phenomenal, a must roll. Can't wait for that summer. Dobrynya Nikitich, I don't know if I like this version more than her base one, but I did like her base one quite a bit, so go ahead and just put them together for now in the B tier. Summer Shufu's bound to be better than regular Shufu, so we'll act accordingly. BB Dubai, I do not think is as good as Hawaiian BB. She's all the way up in A, so if we put somewhere in B, we wouldn't be doing too bad. I think that's alright. Maybe better than the Valkyries. Summer Tenochtitlan, pretty much right next to the other one. You can be together. Mysterious Heroine XX Alter. Let me take a look at your ascensions and see if there's anything nice about you. I see now. I did not understand your game. Terrible first ascension, but she gets a lot better. I think this would be appropriate. Hakunon is a sweetheart, but I gotta dock points for not being in the CCC outfit that I like oh so much. We gotta give credit where it's due. You can go somewhere in the B tier. Wish you were smexier. I know you can be. After all that time, we get Kazura drop. I think you're probably, in my opinion, in the same tier as King Protea, maybe a little bit worse, because Protea is just such a sweetheart. I'm reluctant a little bit to say that I think Clytie's probably better in summer form than not, or as a minor, rather. I don't know if that's summer. But we'll give you an upgrade there. I didn't know what to do with Lohi at first, seeing the lolly, but then you hit Ascension 3 and you're like, all right. I see your game now, I do. You're probably up there with like Britomart and stuff, all the way up in B tier. Hopefully, you know, that doesn't go down as I learn you're like a terrible person or something, but I don't think so. We'll find out. In fact, I think this is Lohi, that Ascension, so let's just put them all together. In fact, okay, so if it is the lolly, you go down a peg or two. We got another Arcuade. I don't know if this is any better than base Arcuade, so I'm gonna just put her one step below base Arcuade. Abigail Williams' Santa looks cuter than Abigail Williams regular, but not as good as her summer variant, I don't think, so we'll plop you right on here. I don't know how to say this. Biscione? Biscione? I'm not sure. I don't know enough about you. Got cute little elf ears. I can't put you too high right now until I learn more. In fact, let me look at your ascensions. Not bad for a snake lady, but we'll stick with what I just did. Kurohime is very pretty. I think there's a bit of a missed opportunity with her schoolgirl outfit. But yeah, I think she's decent amount in the C's here. Let's say maybe a little better than Anastasia. Honestly, I prefer base Jean more than Metatron Jean, but I'm gonna put you together because you are the same person. A lot of really similar looking Japanese servants. Ononokomachi. I will put her around Snake Lady. I won't want to put her too high. Definitely not as cool as Kurohime. Lilith, however, you got me excited. You're going up pretty damn high. I don't know if I can put you higher than this roster of Amaze Balls gals, but you can be right on the cusp. Typhon Ephemeros is pretty cool. Not enough to break out of C, but I think you might be a little higher up on C. Definitely better than Galatea there. Sure. We've got our Unbeast. You, Olga Marie. There were so many different versions, I kind of cropped them out to just get to one version of you, Olga. Because I think, yeah, she's pretty nice. She would go in the B tier for sure. After, definitely ahead of Aoko in this case. Summer Passion Lip probably is a little better than base Passion Lip, but that's about as much as I can say. Put you one step above that. But Summer Cream Healed, S tier, baby. Absolutely phenomenal. You got the under boob. Summer Huyanzhuo has got to be better than base Huyanzhuo, so we'll go ahead and find her and put her one step above that. Not bad, not bad. Ryogi Shiki Summer beats all the other Ryogi Shikis by a landslide, because you don't get to see her dress like this every day. Hell yeah. Going down. Summer Miyu's bound to be better than base Miyu, which is right here, so watcha. Summer Larval Tiamat, I guess, is going to be better than regular Larval Tiamat. That kind of answers it for me. But not as good as Beast Kiara. Now, to be fair, if Miss Crane were not wearing a jacket over her nice bikini, she would be much higher on this list. But nope, she doesn't. Makes me very sad. In which case, she's gonna fall maybe in the upper C tier, right behind Wangina. And voila! So let's go ahead and take a slow look at each of what I got. Do you guys disagree or agree with my rankings? If there's a major change you would have made, let me know. Which servant do you think deserves to be much higher or much lower than where I put them? And if you go onto Tier Maker, you can make your own, which you can probably share with me on social media like Twitter or my Discord. I'd like to see what your top picks are at the very least. Your your S through B tier, I would say. Thought this would be a fun update to my previous list, so yeah, I'll get back to making other types of videos very soon. And until next time, celebrate your fandom. I want to give a special shout out to all my $10 and up supporters. Video Gamer 75, Dante Pendragon, Mystic Samurai 1983, Stephen Elak, Otaku Mom, Freebrick, Alexis Yukio Gomez Yamato, Lunar Works, Link Pendrago, Observer Bellis, James Hewitt, Uncanny EXP, Crow Calum, Sal Soto, Tristan Riggin, Major, Matao Mataru, Winter's Edge, Sneer Cachette, Sunbro Torian, Foxbox, Caitlin P, Sith Lord 906, Vladimirovna, The Taz 96, Kengo X 77, Alistair Bernadotte, and Reason 99. Thank you all so much.